This is our moment. The question is whether we will rise to the occasion. And I can tell you from leaving this room a few minutes ago, we're going to rise to the occasion. We will not let this evil win this time.
Israeli leaders encourage the pastors to be bold and express gratitude for their support.
Stand up and be counted. Tell the truth. Speak to young people. Speak up and be counted. I'm counting on you, and I know you'll do what has to be done. That's what our destiny calls for.
This is not just Israel's fight. This is a fight for civilization. We are facing very much a civilizational struggle like we saw in the 30s between Nazism and the free world. Today, that Nazism is Islamism in coordination with communism, which today's expression is called woke, but it's the same thing.
Behind the scenes, Shira Mills of the Friends of Zion Museum helped make the summit possible.
Never been done before. This is something very unique, very difficult, but here we are. From my point of view, it's miraculous.
The vision going forward, recruiting 10,000 more pastors in the next 36 months.
Because there's a lot of misinformation out there, a lot of young people that are not for Israel, and they're just getting the wrong information. So our whole idea here is to reach the youth of America and around the world and just show the truth.
You know, we moved $16 trillion the other day. In one day, $16 trillion. It goes through our AML systems, our risk systems, sanction systems, fraud systems, OFAC systems. You know, it's cheap, it's fast. So we've always been using technology to do a better job for the client. And we're going to do the same thing in tokenization. So tokenization, blockchain is real. It's been around for quite a while, but now it's becoming more effective, more efficient, because people are finding ways to do it faster and cheaper, permissioned or not permissioned. Smart contracts, I think, will probably be real. We're working on stable coin, and a JP Morgan. We have a JP Morgan deposit already. And think of it as a token, which is a deposit. We can pay interest on it. And as a payment system and a network, we're involved. If we can use things like that to do something better, faster, cheaper for clients, we're going to.
Hey guys, Carlos Cortez with another episode of Scriptures in Wall Street. I just want to say thank you for liking and subscribing our YouTube and our Rumble channel. If you haven't had a chance, go over there, like and subscribe over there. I don't know why we don't have a lot of followers there, but we get millions of views on 4 different networks. So just go over there, like, subscribe on YouTube, Scriptures and Wall Street, and Rumble on Scriptures and Wall Street. Thank you so much for doing that. Also, everything on this podcast is meant for information and education purposes only. I'm not giving investment advice. I'm definitely not giving securities advice. So please do not call our office and say, hey, I bought that one stock that you were talking about. I never recommended it. And that's on you. So be very careful about some of the information you construe as investment advice, which is not. I'm disclosing that now. If anything that I say resonates with you and you would like more information, then you're more than welcome to give us a call, 813-448-3446, or you can visit us online at cortezwm.com. We look forward to hearing from you. A lot of clients have called this week and just complete outright panicked about what is going on. Panicked that they missed 30% of the Nasdaq that we spoke about earlier this year. How I said that AI will continue to thrive and that we even have a green money account that tracks the QQQs. Yes, the QQQs have gone up 30% this year. It is driven by AI. It is driven by technology. So speaking of technology, what's interesting is that when we have technology, our economy grows. Basically, every recession we've had, it's always been technology and healthcare that has brought us out. Those two major sectors have literally propelled us out of a recession-like atmosphere or a recession type of situation. Now, what is the definition of a recession? That could change if you're in the Biden administration, by the way. Well, what I was taught in not in grad school, in regular college, I was taught that basically the definition of a recession is 2 negative quarters of GDP, which is 6 months of bad months, basically, of no money for the economy. Well, when you have the Fed lowering interest rates 3 times already for 2025, and they're saying that, hey, we're good for now, or we're good for a while, insinuating they may not lower in January. This is a cry for help. This is the government saying, you know what? Our economy is doing pretty crappy. Not only did we buy $12.5 billion of our own treasuries, but we're also going to lower interest rates so that business owners can have the ability to go to the bank, loan, if there is money in the bank, on fake money that's been printed, on money that hasn't even been borrowed, credited. Hopefully it's not a bank bailing. But anyways, what is happening is that the government's literally admitting that our economy is in a crapper and we got to lower interest rates because inflation is out of hand and we can't really control it. So we have inflation still being an issue. The jobs are not looking as good as we thought. They bought back $12.5 billion of our own treasuries. So, all right, let's talk about this. They lowered interest rates. The foreign countries are going to lose on this deal because now the yields are going down. The bond prices are going up, but the yield is going down. Do you think China is really happy about buying some of our bonds again like they did in 2008? They literally could just take all their bonds, dump it, and go to another country and get a higher yield. Are they willing to do that? Why is the Chinese buying our bonds again? Is it a bargaining chip? Is it for leverage? She ain't stupid. We know that. So with Trump imposing these tariffs, saying basically we should get rid of personal income tax and simply just have tariffs, pay the government bill, not the citizens. That would be great, by the way. Is it likely going to happen? Probably not. I would never bank a financial plan or a financial arrangement on a political person or the White House. Never rely on the government to feed you money, to feed you food, and to feed you a retirement plan. Please. We are not socialists here, guys. We are men and women of faith that take responsibility. You are the reason where you're at your current life cycle. If you're upset, you only have one person to blame, and that is you. If you don't have money in retirement, you only have one person to blame, and that's you. If you're fat and lazy and irritable, you are responsible. Your children walk out on you, you are responsible. It's the hard truth, man. But you're responsible for your own happiness. You're responsible for your own environment. And I'll say this. Lately, there has been a lot of complainers. Let me tell you something. Just get rid of the complainers in your life. People that complain are some of the most irritable people. There are the crabs that are in your life. I've told the story about grandpa taking grandson out on a canoe on a little boat, and they're going crabbing. And the grandson basically said, "Hey, Pops, how come there's no lid on your bucket of crabs?" And he goes, "Son, when you have one crab and one crab tries to leave the bucket to go at a higher level to escape, the other crabs pull them down. So there's really no need to put a lid on it." And so we have crabs all over us that just completely pull us down. Stay away from people that are negative. Stay away from people that complain. Even in my hockey team, my conservatives hockey team, that gets a lot of hate. We've made Reddit for my political stance, by the way. I basically said, I don't want any liberals on my team. That is my right. I pay for my team. I captain the team. I put it together. I show up every week. I could say what I want. But yet the media found out about it and called us all these funny purple head names and labeled us. But no one says anything about a LGBT or a pride or a liberal hockey team. Right? No, never. Never. So it's the same thing, guys. Like, you could complain all day you want. And complaining is an irritable stance. It's a stance that say, you know what? I don't want to do anything. All I want to do is bicker and moan. And it shows up financially. It shows up spiritually. And I know you don't want to hear this, and you probably are tired of me talking about this, but when I speak to people every single day from this podcast, from this show, I hear the complaints. I hear all this, and none of it's responsibility based. You know, let me tell you, the most successful clients I have take responsibility. They start businesses. They own up to their mistakes. They understand that they're going to need somebody that's in the know, somebody that knows this stuff. And they can't afford to take the risk of messing it up. They need a professional that understands how this money system works, and more so in their favor. And this brings up the point of red money. Guys, I really want to talk about red money because we've gotten a lot of distractions with crypto and Ethereum and JProof and Fartcoin and Sol and all these cryptos and silver and in gold and Nvidia and all of these stocks and ETFs and investments. Guys, some of you, it doesn't fit your profile. So red money, I want to make sure you guys understand going into 2026, you need to know what red money is. Red money is very simple. Red money is unlimited losses, unlimited gains. Think about that. Unlimited losses, unlimited gains. What has unlimited losses, unlimited gains? Well, that's going to be anything with a ticker. That's going to be something that you have no control of. There is media risk. There's social media risk. There is political risk. There's inflation risk. There is bank risk. There's just interest rate risk. There's risk all over the place with red money. But if you speak to an advisor that only specializes in red money, which was me for many, many years, you're going to get red money answers. And so most advisors, not all of them, but most advisors, they only would say, you know, you're younger, you can take more risk, or you're older, you shouldn't take as much risk. Therefore, we should go to bonds. But are bonds guaranteed? Are bonds principally protected? The answer is no, they're not principally protected. And they're only guaranteed, so to speak, by the government, which has never defaulted on their bonds. Amazing story, true story. So if there's no safer investment than U.S. Treasuries, what other safer investment is there? And if you said silver, I remember this was like $250 just like a year ago. Now this thing is 10 ounces. What is that? That's $70 a pop right now. Yeah, that's $700 this daggone bar. That's a lot. Anyways, I highly recommend Cornerstone. Shill them for a little bit. Cornerstone Asset Metals. Call them. Don't invest more than 25% of your liquid assets. Precious Metals is awesome. Terry is awesome out there. Man of God. Love him. Great trusted company. They ship it right to you. They'll even stamp it. They'll shrink wrap it, insure it. Each bar has a QR code. Yeah, these things are amazing. They not a QR code, I misspoke. They have a serial number, which is pretty awesome. So it's registered. You don't have to worry about, is it pure, is it not? Well, boom, it's already registered. Each one has its own serial, its own stamp. These things are good looking bars, man. 10-ounce bars. Highly recommend them. You can't go wrong. And guess what? These are the guys that are not going to overcharge you like the big boys that are advertising during the podcast and the Rumble banner ads and the YouTube banner ads and has a celebrity melted on their website. These are not these guys. These are the quiet companies that they're just grateful to be on the same page spiritually, politically with you, and to literally give you a great deal, have it service right to your door in hopes that you would use them to sell it so they could make a small percentage on the sell side too. Not a predatory sales charge, or I like to say commission breath. That's not us, and I don't deal with people like that. So call Cornerstone. Great group of people. God bless them. Thank you so much. I've heard so many amazing things about Terry and his crew there at Cornerstone. Everybody that has bought precious metals obviously has been up tremendously, more than what I could do with our portfolios on green money and the stock portfolios. You can't even compete. It's a commodity. So, but I want to say something here real quick. Just because you're up threefold, you have to understand that precious metals is still red money. We can get emotional all you want about it, but precious metals is still red money, guys. Like, you have the ability to lose in these assets. The definition of red money is unlimited losses, unlimited gains. There is no principal protection, and you have unknown fees. So silver has been through the charts. It's only going to get even higher, I feel. There's going to be some volatility, but it's only going to get higher because they need it for AI. They need it for a lot of different sources. They need it to build technology infrastructure. So silver is a commoditized or industrialized metal. It's not a currency like gold. Gold is a currency. The government can call it back whenever they want. They can impose fees. They can impose laws. I mean, it is a currency mandated and controlled by it's a tier 1 currency. Look up the laws on tier 1 currencies. It is a tier 1 currency, so they get to make rules and regulations based on the gold. Who knows what that could mean? Just like bank balance, who knows what bank balance could do? Well, we have the framework with the Dodd-Frank Act. We know that the banks could literally fall apart, and the money that you invested in it goes right to them for the greater good of the bank, because there's no more bank bailouts ever. Well, you say, well, I have FDIC on my bank. Well, okay, have you looked into that? Have you looked into the banks that accept the FDIC insurance program? And as you unfold it, they only have 0.74 on average percent of your money. So 100 grand is only $740, and you're trusting them with your life savings in the bank because that's what you've been programmed to think. You see, people already have made their mind when it comes to money or opinions of people or just judgment in general. They have already made up their mind 95% of the time, because people tend to believe their belief system and find evidence to back that up rather than the truth. This is what I love about Jesus. They already had a belief system. They believed, all the Jewish scholars believed that he was blasphemic, that he was a fake, that he was a disgrace, that he is not the Messiah. The Messiah has not arrived yet, and that he's a pig to even call himself a Messiah, and that he's burning in a lake of crap and semen. That's what the Talmud believes. But I digress. Jesus wasn't a positive thinker. He wasn't a negative thinker. He simply was a truth teller. And that in itself is why people killed him. So are we going to duck and hide and not do the hard things and not speak the truth? Or are we going to people please our faith? Are we going to people please our money? Are we going to people please pretty much everything that we own? I think you know the answer to that. And only you could answer that. So yeah, the S&P 500 up 14% year to date, probably going to close positive. Definitely the QQQs is up 30%. The Nasdaq has been killing it. with with the AI driven stocks. But what's scary about the S&P 500, it's only 7 or 8 stocks that have really, really done well.
Don't buy an annuity unless you know how to double your money within 4 to 6 years. I'm talking about no fees, principal protection. The market goes down, you lose nothing. You get an annual statement because your money's not invested in the stock market. It's only credited by the index. And what is the number one index that I can find? That's going to be the Nasdaq. That's going to be AI. That's going to be technology. That's going to be healthcare technology. What are you doing not investing in that? You want to be able to have access to a principal protected account with no fees that has complete growth. If we look at the actual index, if you look at the Nasdaq, in 08, Nasdaq was down 41%. We made 53% the following year, a 19, a 2%, a 16%. In 01 and the dot-com bombs, we made 49, a 10, a 1. And so right now the Nasdaq is down. It's a great time to get in. When Trump got in 2016 to 2020, the Nasdaq yielded over 100%. You can now effectively get into the Nasdaq without risking your principal, have principal protection, have no annual fees, and get your gains locked in. This is not found in your mainstream broker. This is not found on Wall Street. As a former stockbroker, I wish I had access to this to my clients. Give us a call. We want to help you, and we can work with all 50 states. God bless. So yeah, we have this belief system where people just believe on what they've picked up evidence on. Oh, the stock market's terrible. And, you know, for instance, stock market's terrible, and they'll pick one day out of 300 days or one day out of one trading session and say, you know what? You see, the market was down 500 points. But in an overall 12-month period, the market's done 30%. They base their belief system on the evidence that they compile to fit their belief system. It's very easy to do that. You've ever saw like a red Mustang, and maybe you want a red Mustang one day, and you're driving down the road, and all of a sudden you see all these red Mustangs. And then you say, man, everybody has a red Mustang. That's all I see. And now you want this Mustang. You cannot not stop thinking about it. You have engaged your reticular activity or activating system. Activating system. It's called your RAS, your component in your brain. It's a part of your brain that filters information and makes you notice things you've been talking about, exposed to, or emotionally connected to. I had to look it up. And basically, it's like learning a new word. You know, it pops up multiple times. You focus on a goal. Rather, you spot an opportunities align with it, and you don't worry about something. Your brain over detects the threats. You have activated your RAS, which is selective attention. So I think what people do is they activate their RAS to support their belief system. They're picking up evidence. I don't like the stock market. I don't like this. I don't like ice baths. I don't like taking my vitamins or whatever it is. They'll find evidence to not do it. And people would rather believe their belief system than hear the truth. The truth is the S&P 500 did 14%. The Nasdaq already has done 30% as we close out this year for 2025. It probably is going to do a lot higher next year because of all of the growth in the AI space. And it's up to you. It is completely up to you. Do I want to risk my money in the stock market to get all the ups and downs and deal with the volatility index and actually trade it and learn all this stuff late in the game? I'm 55, 60 years old. I'm going to hope that it works out this year. And if I lose 20% of my $500,000 or $1 million or $5 million portfolio, then I'm smart enough to get it back, hopefully, in 4 to 6 years. Many of you don't have 4 to 6 years. Right now is the time to protect your money, to have the ability to grow your asset with the index like the Nasdaq or the QQQ growth index or Barclays index that has ability to go and navigate to
what we call different blended indices and has a volatility control without creating portfolio drag. And these indices are averaging over 11% a year with no risk and no fees. This is why green money is such a huge thing. It's why so many people have signed up already. Like, we got really, really slammed during the November 3rd deadline and December 4th deadline. We got slammed. A lot of people wanted the bonuses, and they did great. They secured their retirement. They said, I'm done with these banks giving me peanuts on my dollar. I want to securitize it. I want to get it out of the banking cartel where they legally own your money, and they will exercise that right on a bank bail-in when there is a lot of solvency issues. When they lower interest rates, I'm telling you guys, it's terrible for the banks. The banks do not like when the Fed lowers interest rates.
You have the Clarity bill, you have the Genius bill, you have the stablecoin bill. All these bills are there to change the financial landscape of what is about to come. What are you doing right now to protect your money, your retirement, from all these CBDC-like systems that is already track tracing and controlling you? Even more so with the AI revolution that we're in right now. We've been talking about this for so long now, and we are effectively helping clients protect their money, secure their retirement, get out of red money, support your values, support America, and not this PBDC system. They masked it as ESG, they masked it as DEI, they masked it as all these things, but at the end of the day, it's all about track, trace, and control. Been a financial advisor for 20 years now. We know what we're doing, and we want to help God-fearing patriots secure their retirement. God bless. Click the link below if you would like to have a conversation.
So, yeah, the banks don't like when the interest rates are being lowered. So what I wanted to actually show you real quick is here's KRE. KRE, I got a buy signal on the 17th of November, and it's gone up. Obviously, this past Wednesday, there was a Fed announcement that will lower interest rate. I'm curious what this is going to look like tomorrow and the rest of the week and the rest of the month, because banks do lose money. They cannot make as much money when the interest rates are lower. So I'm curious to see how this would start to come down. And we've seen the volatility on this particular index, the KRE index. Right now is trading at 64.22. And you guys remember back in May of, man, what was it? It was like 62 back in 23, and it just melted down all the way to like 39. Shot back up, and then started finding a new price range and went back up and went all the way back down to roughly, 51, and now it's shot back up. So this is the banking index, the regional banking index, which is pretty powerful. The other thing is, guys, is that if we look at momentum RSI index here in the middle, we're seeing that these momentum indicators, RSIs, are actually crossing over, creating a buy signal, obviously. But once it hits this upper epsilon, it generally comes back down. So if you look at the very top here, you see that generally the stock will come down. It'll create a divergence. As we saw here, that index went down. Here we have the momentum going down here. This fanned out. And now this is coming back up. So not necessarily 100% correlated, but it's just an indicator to look at. So we'll keep an eye on this. This is that was a weekly chart. This is a daily chart. We're seeing a little bit of momentum losing here. So I'm curious on how this is going to pan out for the rest of the month. Yeah, I'm just really, really curious, because this was going up, anticipation that rates will change. Let's take a quick look at gold and silver. Actually, let's start with the bad boy, silver. All right, so here is in white. I don't know if that's a better view for you, but we have we have silver just completely going crazy right now. Pretty certain it's going to reach $70, but right now we're at 60. The highest was 66.18. This thing has a lot of legs, man. A lot of legs. And it hasn't been this high. Whew. It was in the 40s in 2011. I mean, it hasn't been this high since I haven't been around, so it is smoking, man. For those of you that listen to our covenant process, you are chilling. You're extremely happy. So this is why we have a covenant process. We have a little bit in precious metals, a third in precious metals, a third in a brokerage account. There's treasuries or tactical management. We call it yellow money, and a third in green money. And some people don't even have all three. They just want green money and precious metals, and that's fine too. Some people just want us to trade their accounts and have money managers do their thing with the manipulations of the market and keep it all liquid. That's okay too. But you have to do something. Like, the volatility of the market is not in your favor right now. It can be if you know exactly what you're doing. But most people, they want somebody to take care of it. And that's what I'm here to really help out with. So here's a volatility index. Now, the volatility index, we are just getting a golden cross. This is a green box. This is on November 10th is when we got this. And basically what this means is a bullish sign of the volatility. Check this out. You see how low this is? Generally, when we have a low RSI momentum indicator, it usually pops right back up, meaning that we will experience more volatility. Thus, we got a golden cross marker here, indicator. So we have a lot of things to look forward to going into 2026. 2026, we will get some volatility. That is for certain. So it's going to be interesting, guys, to see how people are preparing for the financial storms, the volatility that's out. How are they preparing for the reaction of what the market's going to do? And how is your portfolio going to take a stress test? Like, if you don't know what a stress test is on your portfolio, then give us a call, 813-448-3446, or visit us online at cortezwm.com. Let's see. Let's run a simulation. Let's see if your portfolio can survive another 08, another 09, a COVID crisis. Let's just run it through the muck and see how you come out. And then let's put your age on it. We can find out what your standard deviation is. We can find out what your fees are. We can find out what your true risk is, what your beta, your alpha, scanalyze your portfolio. We can completely do all that. All you got to do is just reach out to us. I'm not a good fit for everybody. It's definitely people in Hawaii, only because there's just no way I can fit time with your time. We work 9 to 5 Eastern, Monday through Friday. I don't work on weekends. I spend it with my family. And honestly, a lot of my evenings, I'm doing podcasts to give you guys content. So if any of this resonates with you, then give us a call. I am a big fan. It's gotten a lot of traction. Green Money Solutions. I'm a big fan of this conversation I had recently with a prospective client. I can't say his name, but what was interesting is, let's just say his name was Mark. Not his real name, just saying for illustration purposes only. Let's just say this guy named Mark. He called me. I had a great conversation with him. And he's pretty wealthy. In the future, he will be. And he had this conversation about what his current advisor is doing. And that he said that he liked the way I spoke, and he was aligned with me politically and spiritually, and he thinks just like how I think, and which was refreshing to hear, by the way. Like, it was refreshing to hear. But what I will say is he says something pretty profound. He said, I've had a guy for 25 years. I've never heard him say anything what you're saying about. He never broke it down to me. All I did was a yellow, red, and green money conversation, which if you've listened to this podcast this far, you understand what red money is. So green money, what's beautiful about green money is unlimited gains. There's no losses. You understand that you only have access to 10% a year. You understand that it is an insurance contract. You understand that the growth that you get from this account is locked in and principally protected. You understand that you're not in the stock market. And because of that, introduces a whole new set of laws that benefit you. Basically, you're getting a principal protected account. You're getting reserves. Your money is protected by cash reserves by an insurance carrier, particularly a life insurance company. Now, these life insurance companies, they hire money managers to run these amazing indices that they've been running for 20, 30 years. The real guys on Wall Street, the best traders are not with the Wall Street hedge funds. They're actually with insurance companies, in my opinion. So what's interesting is that you'll see Nationwide partner with JP Morgan Chase. You'll see Merrill Lynch partnering with AIG. You'll see Barclays indices partnering with North American. You'll see Aspida partnering with Invesco, the QQQ index. You'll see these big insurance companies partner with these very, very popular flagship style ETF money managers. But yet, what you don't see is the red money banks talking about principal protected accounts. Still to this day. Now, as you watch Bad Bunny during a halftime show in February or whenever the Super Bowl is, I know you're not. I know my listeners are not, but just hang on with me. Just pay attention. If you do watch the commercials, who are the commercials? Where are they getting their money from? How long or how much is a Super Bowl ad? A Super Bowl as a 2025 commercial has reached an all-time high. A 30-second slot is now $12 million, up from $7 million in 2020. This represents a 71% increase in just 5 years, driven by the Super Bowl's continued dominance as the most watched television event in the U.S., with over 100 million viewers annually. Despite a rise in costs, major brands like Pepsi, Cola, Budweiser continue to secure prime ad spots, often producing elaborate celebrity-studded commercials to maximize their investment. So yeah, there you go. $12 million for a 30-second ad. Jeez. Just nuts. So why is it you're a financial institution? Why are they advertising and spending $12 million for a 30-second ad? Where are they getting the money from? Begs the question, right? Well, I can go in a deep rabbit hole there, but I don't have time today. Not on a midweek show. Maybe I'll come out with a documentary on it. What's interesting, guys, is that all you got to do to avoid the noise, to have principal protection in your family, in your legacy, in your portfolio, is simply have a contract that says my principal is protected, guaranteed, locked, and insured. That is a high growth fixed index annuity that you can find information on greenmoneysolutions.com. This is not a security. The bad thing about it is you only have access to 10% a year. And if you go over that, you'll pay a surrender, just like a CD if you broke a CD. But the surrender goes down in most states, actually in all states. I don't do any of them that they don't benefit the client. So you want to make sure that you're getting one that fits your needs, that has ability to grow with no fees and no risk. And generally, when you take the fees and you have a high growth one based on an index like the QQQ growth index or Barclays transition index or a high participation rate on the S&P, I mean, there's so many indices we can talk about. Just go to Green Money Solutions and pick the option that's best for you. I'm changing option 4 to a great account. This account, you only have about another till the end of the year before they start changing more stuff. They lowered the bonus from 15 to 12, but you're getting 75% of the growth index called the QQQ index, the growth index. And it's pretty amazing. No fees, no risk, and all the gains that you make on that year gets locked in as your new principal. So imagine having an account like this where you have no fees, no risk. AI is taking its thing. Like, technology is still going to do well. It's not going anywhere. And you're going to make 75% of this whole index with no fees and no risk. Generally, your money is going to double within 4 to 6 years, is what the projections say. Now, if you would like a projection based on your risk tolerance, based on your money, based on liquidity needs, based on your age and your state, all you got to do is email me at info@cortezwm.com. We can spend 5-10 minutes and we can see if this is right for you. Also, if you do call, I personally, you got to remind me because I'll forget. I'll personally send you a book, my book that I wrote in 2023. And it's called America First Retirement Plan. I trademarked it. It's a good read. It's basically talking about the risk of green money. I mean, the risk of red money, why green money is great, and what the CBDC is really about. And it's all coming into fruition. This book has been amazing. And it's just, I wrote it for you guys. I have not made a penny selling this book because it's not for sale. I actually wrote it to give to clients and to just give back to the community. So if you want it, I will sign it, and just all you gotta do is book an appointment. That's my my gift to you for listening to this show, to being a supporter of the show. Also, if you're trying to get in shape, if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to get your mindset right and literally take responsibility of your health. So how many times have we gotten lost in the minutia of the everyday life? We've gotten fat, we've gotten lazy, we've gotten complacent, not just in our faith, but also our fitness, maybe our finances, maybe our marriage, maybe our family. But we've gotten complacent, and we constantly need to continue to grow. And one of the things I was weak at was in my fitness. As a former athlete, I thought I had it all. My ego got in the way. I'm like, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. Up until now, I have been able to focus on my fitness. For those of you who've been following me for 3 or 4 years, you understand that I've gained a lot of weight. I've used the excuse of having 4 kids, a marriage, a business, helping out at church, all these excuses. And I keep putting myself in the back burner. This is deadly. And what I love about this company, what I love about taking ownership, is that GetMeLeanUSA.com has the ability to introduce natural groundbreaking peptides. What your body demands, what your body needs to release those fat stored cells, to build muscle, to gain your physical being back to where it's naturally supposed to be. We're not talking about big pharma saying we're going to come out with the weight loss drug. We're not talking about losing muscle. We're talking about gaining muscle, gaining your physique back, controlling your appetite, giving you the edge that you need to help you get your body back in check the way God intended it to be, by using his resources with America First products, with America First company that aligns and believes in what you believe in. Introducing GetMeLeanUSA.com. Get in. This is going to be groundbreaking, huge business opportunity, as well as a huge groundbreaking technology that is going to change the landscape. So I know good things before I see it, and I highly recommend you get in. All you got to do is click the link below and get you some fit, get you some lean, and get fit and get lean. This is not going to do everything. Of course, diet and exercise, you continue your walking, continue your protein intake, but man, does it make it a whole lot easier to get in shape. Look at me, I've lost 60 pounds, but this is actually fundamentally a great recipe to get back in shape. And I can personally attest to the amazing effects of this product. So go to getmeleanusa.com. You won't regret it. You can cancel anytime. They're affordable and yet they're effective. And you are supporting our show. You're supporting yourself. You're supporting a mission. There is an affiliate program attached to it if you would want to share it with your friends and family. There's a whole nother opportunity there. But more importantly, let's get your fitness back in check. God bless you. Carlos Cortez here, signing out. Or you can go to biolongevitylabs.com and enter the promo code Cortez WM. They have some amazing peptides. If you are more the injectable type and you want fast results, I highly recommend. Of course, it's not medical advice, but here's a picture of me and my fat self and what I've looked. I've used both programs. GetMeLeanUSA.com is going to be your natural, basically plant-based and animal-based peptides that you can consume. You'll never get sick off of it because it's all natural stuff. They're not cheap, but you can subscribe every single month. American-made company, America First company. They are our people, and they're just amazing God-fearing people. So go to GetMeLeanUSA.com. They're coming out with some cool flavors. My favorite, if you're trying to build muscle because maybe you're on semaglutide or some GLP-1, you can just drink the fit and not lose your muscle. It works with all vitamins, all peptides. It's pretty amazing. Now, if you want to lose weight and you love that podcast I did with Jay Campbell about retatrutide and the Clotho and the Follistatin that's coming out and what Lilly's trying to like buy it out and they're going to charge $10,000 a month, something that we can get $4,000 a month, then go to biolongevitylabs.com and get you some retatrutide if you're a man or a woman, help you lose weight. It has 3 major receptors in it, adapters, I would say. The first one's going to be the glucagon, which is pretty amazing. It will lower the A1C, it will lower your blood sugar. For those of you, maybe you were type 2 diabetic like I was, this is a great replacement for the Mounjaro or Ozempic shot or even metformin. You will no longer have to take that. Of course, you got to get all this, you got to check with your medical professional. And then number 2, it has the muscle builder agtoninus in it. So it's going to help you keep your lean muscle as well as build it. And the other 3, the other GLP-1 on it is going to be your weight loss. So kind of like semaglutide and trizepatide, what they've done is it has that appetite control in it. So you literally help yourself not overindulge at night. Maybe you were like me and you wanted some ice cream or a bowl of Frosted Flakes or, some sabotageable midnight snack that just pounded calories on you, and you've done that for 5-10 years and now you're fat. Well, unfat yourself, get on some retatrutide, amazing stuff. Of course, I can't give medical advice. This is not medical advice. This is just an awesome program to help people get in shape, lose the belly fat, and build muscle and lower your blood sugar levels, which I needed all 3, and it's worked successfully for me personally. So I'm only speaking out of personal experience. Everybody's different. You can't really OD on this stuff because it's all amino acids. It's all made in the lab safe here in America. And you're really, it's almost as your body already has peptides. It's just awakening the peptides that have been dormant for your whole life since you're a child. So keep on listening. There's going to be some crazy updates on Clotho and Follistatin. I'm getting on that stuff soon as it comes out. And going to be amazing. A lot of you guys have asked me what I've done. You've seen my face get a lot thinner. I've lost a lot of weight. I'm down 70 pounds. I walk and eat a lot of protein. And I take my peptides. It's nothing that hard. I'll do push-ups and lift light. I don't do heavy weights, even though I probably will ramp up here and do more heavier weights. Men need that. But anyways, enough about peptides. I just wanted to say that they're amazing. And when you buy and purchase goods from these websites, you're actually helping me out to subsidize the cost of this expensive production. It costs a lot of money to have Mike help me with the podcast and to pay the bills. so to speak. So I appreciate it if you do. Also, if you can like and subscribe our Rumble channel so that we can start somewhat making some money on that, monetizing that, so we can continue doing our show here. And I'll keep on dropping content. Whether it's good content, bad content, I'll still be here. My promise 4 years ago was simply to always drop some content. Even when I didn't want to, I will be here because I love doing this. It doesn't feel like I'm working. I am so excited to get in front of the camera and just speak from the heart, and having the ability to really speak life with all you guys that call. I am so humbled many times, just humbled to have the opportunity to even meet you over the phone and give you advice. Like, I do not take that lightly. I think that is such an awesome thing. I'm honored to do it. And I'm glad I can be an impact to you and your family. Anyways, with that being said, guys, I'm going to go to bed. I'm pretty tired for a midweek show. I got a late start on this one. But this weekend show will be fun. And we're going to be talking about some trades for the following week. And as we go into Christmas, it's going to be slow, right? There's a lot of people don't trade the last 2 weeks of the year. It's very slow. This Fed announcement was pretty tricky. Market went up right after the interest rates lowered, and then it went right back down because of Oracle came out with some bad numbers. I think where there's smoke, there's fire, guys. So we might see some fireworks come January. I don't know. I'll keep you guys updated. I'll check out the charts. This wasn't really a financial technology savvy show. I didn't want to bust out so many charts and get all intricate that way. I just wanted to speak about how powerful green money was and how powerful red money is and how detrimental it can be if you're still in red money and you haven't given us a call and you haven't questioned how much am I being feed? What is my standard deviation? What kind of risk am I really taking? How about my 401k? Can they take my 401k? What is the risk there? Like, what do I need to do? I need to retire. I want to secure it. I want to grow it. I want to 4 times it in 15 years. Is that something I can do? You know, what are some options here? Those are some basic, great questions to start out with. And we want to give you those answers if you don't know those answers. So with that being said, guys, I'm out of here. God bless. Love y'all. Don't forget to like and subscribe our Rumble channel and our YouTube channel. I need your help, please. God bless. Bye-bye. So how many times have we gotten lost in the minutia of the everyday life? We've gotten fat, we've gotten lazy, we've gotten complacent, not just in our faith, but also our fitness, maybe our finances, maybe our marriage, maybe our family. But we've gotten complacent, and we constantly need to continue to grow. And one of the things I was weak at was in my fitness. As a former athlete, I thought I had it all. My ego got in the way. I'm like, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. Up until now, I have been able to focus on my fitness. For those of you who've been following me for 3 or 4 years, you understand that I've gained a lot of weight. I've used the excuse of having 4 kids, a marriage, a business, helping out at church, all these excuses. And I keep putting myself in the back burner. This is deadly. And what I love about this company, what I love about taking ownership, is that GetMeLeanUSA.com has the ability to introduce natural, groundbreaking peptides. What your body demands, what your body needs to release those fat stored cells, to build muscle, to gain your physical being back to where it's naturally supposed to be. We're not talking about big pharma saying we're going to come out with the weight loss drug. We're not talking about losing muscle. We're talking about gaining muscle, gaining your physique back, controlling your appetite, giving you the edge that you need to help you get your body back in check the way God intended it to be, by using his resources with America First products, with America First company that aligns and believes in what you believe in. Introducing GetMeLeanUSA.com. Get in. This is going to be groundbreaking, huge business opportunity, as well as a huge groundbreaking technology that is going to change the landscape. So I know good things before I see it, and I highly recommend you get in. All you got to do is click the link below and get you some fit, get you some lean, and get fit and get lean. This is not going to do everything. Of course, diet and exercise, you continue your walking, continue your protein intake, but man, does it make it a whole lot easier to get in shape. Look at me, I've lost 60 pounds, but this is actually fundamentally a great recipe to get back in shape. And I can personally attest to the amazing effects of this product. So go to getmeleanusa.com. You won't regret it. You can cancel anytime. They're affordable and yet they're effective. And you are supporting our show. You're supporting yourself. You're supporting a mission. There is an affiliate program attached to it if you would want to share it with your friends and family. There's a whole nother opportunity there. But more importantly, let's get your fitness back in check. God bless you. Carlos Cortez here, signing out.